We're out here at Mr. and Mrs. Curlee's house. We did some siding work on their State Farm office, I think back in '99, and it's time to get the house done. So we're going to be doing a Hardie siding project. Really just 3 gables is the majority of the siding, but a lot of fascia work. We're doing a fascia overlay up to the existing. They still got a really good drip edge and metal drip in place. So we're going right up to that with the fascia from Hardie. And then we're just going to do a couple minor repairs on the soffit and paint the soffit for them. So we'll start taking a look around here. On the front of the house, all the windows and doors have basically a little capping on it. It's a little 1x4 basically. It's kind of hard to see in the video, but at the top of each window and a couple of the doors, there's a little 1x4. We're actually just going to take that 1x4 off and replace it with the Hardie 1x. And then that will all be sealed back to the brick. They do have quite a few areas, including the freeze board, that's not sealed really back to the exterior brick facade. So we're going to take care of that and use a good 50-year elastomeric sealant on there, on all the freeze board and all the other areas where we have that contacting that brick facade. So it's a nice kind of sealed area. Fascia is about 5 1/4 inch. Got some porch ceiling under here that we'll paint. Again, it's in good condition, but you can see right here, for instance, that gaping hole from where it's not caulked and sealed back to the brick. So we'll take care of that, get that all nice and squared away. Above the door here, you can see that little capping. That will be done in Hardie plank. We're not taking off any storm doors or anything. It's brick mold behind there, so we really can't do much with it except just touch up the paint around the perimeter of that storm door. Same thing with this window here. And this is the first place this freeze board's fallen a little bit. Soffit still looks good, but you can see the freeze board is coming down. So we'll tack that back up, seal it before we do all our painting. All the vents are in good shape. No issues with the soffit vents. It's just basically wherever we have these freeze board issues like this, those will be repaired before we do the painting of the soffit. You can see right there too, kind of the same issue. Coming over the garage, we have a like a 1x6, probably about 1x5, right up at top here, right there. That's going to come off. Again, we're just peeling that off, and we'll put up the 3/4 Hardie board. Once we do that, then we can do a garage door wrap on both garage doors. We do have some wrought and soft wood at the base of each of these. It's a little better there. So these frames will all become Hardie plank around the garage doors. We will paint the garage doors to match the siding color. So when it's all said and done, it's going to look really, really nice. All these security lights, we have, I think, a total of 5 of them. Obviously, we'll, paint, and they'll be replaced if we have to take them down to paint. Again, soffit here, all the way around, just going to be painted. It's in good shape, just needs some touch-up. Now on the 3 gables, we have this. They're set on a horizontal, or on a diagonal. So we're going to do the same thing with our Hardie plank. We're using Cedar Mill Select, but we will do it on a diagonal as opposed to just a straight horizontal. 2 of the 3, this left gable, the rear gable, will both be overlay, and then on the right gable we're just going to tear that off. It has some rot that's kind of suspect, so we'll tear that off, inspect any of the wall framing, and make any kind of advisements there if we need to based on any rot we find. And then from there we'll sheathe it with OSB, Tyvek everywhere on all sidewalls, all 3 gables, and then put on our Hardie plank. On these gables here, the freeze board will be replaced with Hardie all the way up and down each gable run. Coming around to the back here, you can see the soffit again in good shape. It just needs, it's pretty much, if it was sealed at one point, that caulking is completely deteriorated. there's no caulking that can be seen. So that's a big thing, that all the way around where the freeze board contacts the brick, we're going to seal that so they don't have any further issues from that. They do say they have some insect issues out here. Again, so everywhere we're just doing fascia overlay right up to the drip edge that already has good metal drip intact. This door we're going to replace. We're looking at this. This brick mold is rotten on both sides here. This side's really bad. But this area right here is actually in the jam. So unless we were just going to do something completely patchwork, we're going to replace this door, paint it to match, apply new exterior trim, seal it. Again, you can see no seal to the brick. It's just wide open. And get it replaced and get a nice long-lasting solution for them instead of just a short-term fix. It's a little chilly out still. Again here, big porch ceiling. It's about a 30 by 12. Again, good shape. Just going to touch it up with some, any on the H molding wherever we need to caulk and seal, we will. And then it's just going to be coated. They also have they'll probably purchase 2 new porch ceiling lights that we will install for them. On the bay here, these little capping, again, capping over the windows will be peeled off and then replaced with a Hardie 3/4. All these posts, we have 5 porch posts here. Minor rot in the bottoms. We're going to correct whatever rot is visible at the bottoms. So you can kind of see just it's nothing really bad. We've seen a lot worse, but to prevent this from continuing on and causing them some serious issue down the road, we're going to wrap these all in the Hardie plank. They're about 6 by 3s, by 8 feet tall, 5 of them. So all of these will be wrapped with Hardie plank, and then we're going to put a little 1x4 kind of shoe mold around the bottoms on each of them, just to give it a nice finished look. Here's our rear gable. Again, great shape. I'm trying to stay out of that sun. Great shape here. Again, this will be one of the gables, still doing on a diagonal, but this will be one of the gables where we use that as its existing substrate. You can see right here, here's the other second place of soffit repair. It's only about 6 inches, but you can tell that wood's completely soft. So this little corner down here on the rear gable is going to have to be repaired before we do any kind of painting. So that'll be fixed up and taken care of. And pretty much the same thing here. Nothing on the chimney, it's all brick. A little place up under these two soffit vents where we can see the freeze boards peeled away a little bit. It's not rotten, it's just moved. So we'll correct that and seal it up before we do the painting. Again, a couple small areas of window capping here. Just take it off, put on a Hardie 1x4 and seal it. And coming over to the right gable, this is a place that gets most of the sun. Some of the boards are pretty suspect here, so what we're going to do is take all this off, resheathe the wall, and then go back with our Hardie diagonal. This little place in the fascia, you can see looks like it was scabbed in here, and it's obviously fallen out, so we need to retack that, seal it, before we do our fascia overlay. Got a couple other places on this fascia. From down here, it looks like it's okay. It looks like it was just a pretty knotty piece of lumber that they put up. But if there is any rot in this specific area on the right gable, on the right fascia on the gable, we'll cut it out, replace it, and then continue on with our fascia overlay. This appears on the front gable run. It appears it's just rough wood. It doesn't look rotten, so I don't think there's any issue there. But anywhere around the house where we find rotten fascia, cut it out, replace it, and then continue on with the Hardie fascia. So that's our scope of work. Here's another one of those security lights that we'll reattach if we do have to take that down for painting. And then on this corner here, this gable, or excuse me, the soffit vent, it's come down just a little bit. All the other ones look just fine, so those will be painted to match when it's all said and done. So that's the project. Looking forward to giving them another great experience and making the home basically maintenance free on the exterior so they can enjoy being retired. So Mr. and Mrs. Curlee, we appreciate you guys working with us once again, and I look forward to working on your project for you. Thanks so much.